Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Connie X about the top 10 worst decisions Digimon has ever made. Let's hop in and see just what they've done.
Digimon, you got some splaining to do.
That's a good callback. Lucy.
What is up, digital companions? My name is ConEX, and welcome back to a controversial video. I know, look at that title, look at that thumbnail, gee whiz. I try to keep positive about and love Digimon. It's one of my absolute favorite franchises of all time. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to talk about it every week without fail for years now. But we've got to take the rough with the smooth. And honestly, while toxic negativity is bad, toxic positivity can be really bad too. So I just want to exercise all the bad blood, all the bad air, and go into the rest of this year with positivity in my mind and a song in my heart. Ready for the good stuff that Digimon may or may not share in 2025 and beyond. But you know what will never be a bad decision? Today's sponsor, Raycon. You guys were great the last time that Raycon sponsored a video, so they are back again, sponsoring another video. And it is the season of love. Valentine's Day is mere days away.
You know, Raycon has actually been sponsoring a few of the channels I watch. There's Connie X, Dead Meat, and every now and then, Prog Magic.
It's time to acknowledge our unique love languages. So in this one we all agree on the love of sound. Discover true love's perfect pair. Raycon's everyday earbuds. Their latest model is better than ever with a 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with two devices at once, which is absolutely some of my favorite features about these Raycon everyday earbuds. They also come with active noise cancellation. I'm going to be flying back to America in February with my wife, and yeah, when you're on an airplane with a lot of noise and a lot of people and sometimes screaming babies, you're going to want that active noise cancellation, and that 32-hour battery life also helps a lot for long-haul flights. Raycon also have a range of protective cases. I chose the Sunset case as my personal daily earbud protector. The color instantly reminded me of a certain digital lizard that we're all fond of, and it still allows for the wireless charging capabilities, so I don't even have to take the protective cover off to get 90 minutes of battery life in just 10 minutes of charging. Incredible. So if you want to snag yourself some cool Raycon everyday earbuds like I did, make sure you go to buyraycon.com/ConEX to get up to 20% off site-wide. That's right, you'll get up to 20% off everything on Raycon's website, including 20% off all headphones too. And in the process, you're directly supporting this channel, so it means the world to me. So please do go to buyraycon.com/ConEX. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Alright, so we're talking about things that Digimon has done badly. The worst decisions, in my opinion. And remember, this is just my opinion. It's just a fun talking point. Like I say, I want to kind of get things off in the air. And my first one, and the most prescient, is the radio silence we get on Digimon games after they're announced. The most recent one that actually released was Digimon Survive, but we do know that the Digimon story game is also in development. You can check out my video if you want to find out more about what we know so far. It's not like we don't get news eventually, but Digimon Games has this bad habit of announcing stuff far too soon and then basically ignoring them until they actually have news to share about release dates. I just think you guys kind of have to shut up until the game's further in development, and then again when you have a release window. And if you do announce something too early, just share a screenshot here and there. That's really all people need. I think the worst thing about the new Digimon story game is that we know literally so little about it. We don't know its title, we don't know what it looks like, we don't have any key art. At least with Digimon Survive, during the wait, we had gameplay to look at, we had character designs and little things like that. We even had the opening anime cutscene pretty early on. We are currently seeing just how well radio silence is going for a prominent release, and that is Team Cherry's Hollow Knight Silksong, with the fan base basically losing their minds at anything that could be misconstrued as a hint towards Silksong's release date. And many people don't even really want Silksong anymore. It's gone from a very anticipated title to something that people are actually mad at and kind of don't want anymore and don't think is going to be a good game when it finally comes out. I should know from doing this job, this YouTube game, whether it's like fan bases or people just commenting, you've got to keep people engaged and updated. You don't have to give them every little detail about your life. If you're making something, they want to know that you care about it just as much as they do. So here's hoping for Digimon Con, eh? And speaking of Digimon Con 2025, this year they're going to be having Digimon Adventure Beyond, which looks to be a sequel to Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kizuna, except it's just like a music video, not a full movie. Odd. I hope this isn't the way they wrap up Kizuna and Zero to the beginning. That would be a big anticlimax. But this does speak to something that a lot of people criticize the franchise for, and one that I care about a little less, I guess, and that is Digimon Adventure Milking. I don't mind if a ton of products come out related to Digimon Adventure, you know, toys and stuff, they're just going to sell as well. I think my umbrage is when the creative projects start to be too focused on Digimon Adventure. Digimon Tamers, Digimon Frontier, Digimon Data Squad anniversaries have come and go with nothing but pop-up celebrations and maybe a Digivice toy. And the thing is, I'm not even saying this as someone that doesn't like Adventure. 02 is my favorite season of all time for nostalgia reasons. But the problem is, every time you make a new Digimon Adventure,
I love Gilmon, that's my partner,
a movie or Digimon Adventure anime series like Try, you risk harming and causing damage to the overall narrative and love that people have for the Adventure franchise. I personally was disappointed by Try. A lot of people were disappointed by Kizuna, and I hear there is a lot of division in regards to 02 the beginning, with some people actively angry at the way it chose to portray Louis Owada's character. Every time you make a new narrative decision within the world of an established franchise, you risk ruining it for people, or at the very least making them more apathetic. This is why actually I'm always going to be more fond of the idea of forging forward. That's why things like Digimon Liberator are far more exciting to me. I wish wish it was an anime. And that's why conceptually I think Digimon Adventure 2020 is a better value proposition, because a reboot can't harm the plot, narrative, and characters of the original thing. Unless it's one of those reboots that's technically a sequel. I love FF7 Remake and Rebirth, but I'm getting nervous. And as I say, Tamers is right there. Even Frontier I think would benefit from a one-off movie, because the Frontier movie was not great. Opinions are divided on Adventure 2020, but I think by the sheer fact it got a mixed response critically does imply it didn't nail the revival also. Obviously Adventure makes the most profit, but we need to encourage more risk, and as consumers make it clear we will support non-adventure products. And that's important too.
Yeah,
They're not going to make less adventure stuff if adventure is the one that sells and other stuff doesn't. So unfortunately, if they ever do give us the opportunity, we really do have to vote with our wallets. Then there's one personally, and that is the lack of proper releases outside of Japan, and especially in my territory, the UK, but also just the way they handle releases outside of Japan now. I'm not talking about dubs, right? That's a whole other category for a whole other time. But I am talking about localization and indeed product release. You can buy a bunch of random Digimon stuff in stores, but generally the preferred release method now for most Digimon items outside of the TCG is Premium Bandai. The first hurdle there is that Premium Bandai is on
well, where I live, you can't really find anything Digimon
available in a lot of countries, which sucks. The other hurdle is that when stuff is released on Premium Bandai, it doesn't feel like it's marketed at the territories it's being released in. For example, in North America that does have Premium Bandai, you get these sort of half-translated products where, like, for example, a Digivice toy or a Vital Bracelet will be in whatever state it was in Japan. So, like, 90% usable, but still with Japanese text. But then, for example, the Frontier Anniversary Digivices were the exact same toys, but bundled with an English version of the promo card, which is good, better than a Japanese version of the promo card. But I don't know why they don't push these to be in stores more and to be fully translated. A big reason, again, I think that the Vital Bracelet and things like that kind of floundered is because people just assumed they were entirely in Japanese, and no matter how much I or anyone else told them that they were usable if you didn't speak Japanese, the message just didn't get through. Now, obviously, Bandai Namco kind of knows what they're doing as far as making profit goes, you'd think. So I'm sure there's a reason they're pursuing P Bandai so aggressively, but there are people waiting to give you money, I can tell you this for a fact, who can't. I cannot use Premium Bandai in the UK. There is no way for me to legally, with the express permission of Bandai Namco, import 90% of Digimon products besides the TCG right now. There was an effort with Bandai Shop UK with the Vital Bracelet, but even that really hasn't gone as far as it could have. I'm a UK-based, specifically Welsh, Digimon YouTuber. My entire existence is proof that there is a UK and European market for Digimon. Now, admittedly, a lot of my viewers are American, but coming in second is the UK every time, and then Germany and Canada. There is a baying audience here, but we don't even have a cinema or home release of Zero to the Beginning. How can you make money if you don't give us the opportunity to give you money? I would attend every cinema screening of Zero to the Beginning there was. I would go down to every event. I would shill the DVD for free if you just gave me the DVD. But that doesn't happen. And there's also a bunch of other releases like Digimon the Movies that we also haven't had here yet, but that's a different situation. And business is a many-headed hydra, so of course what one department is doing might not be true for another department, and sometimes they don't talk to each other. But I do think that going forward for all territories, Bandai should make more effort to have things be fully translated and release a version to that market. They kind of tried that with the Vital Bracelet with the Vital Hero and marketed it at kids. I don't think that worked. It was a good effort though. I'd rather they try things like that than just this weird half-translated P Bandai stuff. And that kind of ties us into brand visibility. Another mistake Digimon I think is making is just not having a central anchor series of games. I've said it before, but games have never been Digimon's main thing, but it's very clear when you look at the layman, the non-Digimon hyperfan, that's kind of what they expect Digimon should be. And if there is a market of people, a market of Pokemon fans, RPG fans, a bunch of other stuff, who are saying, hey, I would like your brand to be this thing, and it's an achievable thing for your brand, maybe you should try harder to do that. I think most people are familiar with Digimon World as a concept, and some really like Digimon World on the PS1, even if they found it insanely difficult. But the problem with Digimon World as a title is what it means is really muddy, with an incredible lack of consistency between each title. Digimon World 1, 2, and 3 are like completely different games from each other, and that was made even worse when some Digimon story games were localized as Digimon World games in English, and instead of Digimon Story Sunburst and Moonlight, they became Digimon World Dawn and Dusk, and those are very clearly heavily RPGs, but then so are kind of Digimon World 2 and 3, so the difference is really muddy regardless. I saw an insane amount of love for Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory from non-Digimon RPG fans, and it still dominates, I think, things like Twitch when you go to Digimon games. But it's been so long since Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, with only Digimon Survive and the report of Digimon World Next Order in between, that I think a lot of that generated hype for Cyber Sleuth and Digimon's story as a concept has maybe faded away. This is going to be controversial, but I think in one way, Bandai Namco should copy the Pokemon Company, but at a slower pace, making a clear distinction between what a world and a story game is. Maybe even a YouTube video and some Twitter posts saying, this is what you can expect from a world game. You raise the creatures, they have VPET mechanics, they poop, they die, they have different evolutions, etc. And this is a story game. It is more story focused, more heavily RPG style, like a Persona or a Final Fantasy, or indeed a Metaphor Fantasio, where you have more of a party of Digimon that you can also evolve, but in different ways for different purposes, and just make it clear to everyone what the distinction is. Kind of like how Pokemon made it clear what the difference is between a Conquest, a Ranger, a mainline Pokemon game, and indeed a...
Yet Ranger hasn't been done with anything in, what, how many years now?
Legends game. And then also, you keep up a staggered release schedule. I am not saying to copy Pokemon's release schedule of yearly games, though they have kind of slowed on that too. Even Pokemon has learned their lesson with ZA. But maybe release a new game every 3 years, with development timelines of 6 years, but staggered. Kind of do like a 360 era Activision thing, where you have one team developing one type of Call of Duty game, and the other developing the other, but then that means that they both get to put much more time into development, rather than one team split across a bunch. So let's say the next Digimon story game releases next year, that's 2026, but they would have had a run-up of 6 years, or 5 years, or whatever it may be, the next Digimon World game, which will release in 2029. Then in 2032, we get another story game. It doesn't even have to be a story game. I've said for a while now, we have been missing fun from Digimon. Look at any video game franchise that's doing well. Mario, he has the mainline Mario, the 2D Marios, and Mario Kart, and Mario Party. Mario Kart 9 was the thing that they're basically selling the Switch 2 on immediately.
Yeah,
I would kill for a good Digimon kart racing game. That GBA game sucked. We've played a modded Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that Halo made over on Extra Juicy, and it was so much fun just having these Digimon characters do kart racing. You could have like a Digimon Party style thing, which we also played a mod of by Halo, or anything. There is so much variety in these characters. Bring back Rumble Arena, bring back a Battle Spirit type game. Digimon doesn't have to be these huge 40+ hour games. It can just be fun party games, and that's okay. And I think it would do some goodwill for the franchise. Now again, I am armchair CEOing here. I'm sure there's a reason they've made these decisions, but as a consumer and a big Digimon fan, that's what I want. That's what I'd be doing. Also, and this should be a no-brainer, port the old games. Digimon Survive ended up on PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium recently, which begs the question, why is Digimon World 1, 2, and 3 not on there? We're seeing a lot of these like PlayStation Classics, PS1, PS2, and PSP on the PlayStation Network and PlayStation Plus. At least Digimon World 1 would be such a no-brainer, and as far as I know, the way it works internally is it's just a PS1 emulator inside the PS4 and 5. So it's not like you'd have to do any actual porting. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like Digimon World nostalgia is at an all-time high right now. I'm seeing a ton of content creators I've never seen before making videos specifically about Digimon World 1. Put it on the eStore, put it on Game Pass, put it on the Switch. Literally easy money, I don't get it. Another bad decision is lack of cross-promotion with their other huge brands that Bandai Namco already owns to keep the profile of Digimon going. I even tweeted Harada about this, but it's crazy with the amount of customization we have in Tekken 8 that Lily, who I may remind you is a literal Digidestined or chosen child, tame or whatever, she has a partner Numemon in Digimon World Redigitized. Could we not have had a little Monzemon cosmetic? Did no one at the Digimon team go, oh, Lily's gonna be in Tekken 8, we should put her in, we should give her a little bit of Digimon love.
That would have been
Numemon thing, just anything. A free cosmetic, it would take nothing to program in. If you made it like a keychain, it could be a 2D texture. Years ago, they did a goddamn Ace Combat crossover when Next Order released, so why not do that more? Why not push for more exciting crossovers than just Digital Monster VPETs? And those are great. The Monster Hunter and stuff outside of Digimon is cool. But when Bandai Namco has so many properties, you could do so much more. Push for...
Wait, Bandai Namco has Little Nightmares? Huh.
War Greymon in Monster Hunter, Beelzemon in Fortnite. Use the goodwill you do have to convince people who...
Why does that actually fit? Put Beelzemon in Fortnite. Why does that fit?
Still view Digimon as a copy, that it's not, and is so much its own thing. I also think a real no-brainer would be crossover cards with the other Bandai Namco TCGs. Have a Luffy alternate art show up in Digimon. It doesn't even have to be a card that has like One Piece mechanics or anything. Haru, for example, instead of being a Tamer card, was initially used as alt art for the Future Potential card. You could do the same thing here. A fun Digimon option or Tamer, but just use Luffy on the art and vice versa. Have some Digimon show up in One Piece. Or if that sounds too crazy for you, it's not, given what Magic the Gathering is up to at the moment. You have this whole whole thing called Union Arena, which is supposed to be a big crossover TCG of Bandai Namco properties, and Digimon isn't in there. What the hell? And it's not like it would even be something that Bandai Namco would never do, because we have had Digimon Battle Spirits cards in the past. Speaking of the TCG, it's also baffling there is no TCG client, or even a Pokemon TCG Pocket-like mobile game. I get sales for physical card game is a priority, but come on, if Pokemon can do it and make $1 bajillion, so can you on a smaller scale. The tutorial app is great, but I just don't understand why they haven't expanded this when people are crying for it. And I get it, you don't want physical sales to be impacted, so make the client version different to the physical game. This is why Pokemon TCG Pocket is so popular right now, because it is a condensed version. It's basically a pack opening simulator with curated new packs that aren't real packs of boosters, and also an option to battle people. You can do the same for Digimon. Make it more focused on pack opening and deck building with either a smaller memory version of the TCG, or just by using more basic cards and not having that power creep that we've had over the last kind of like 15 BT sets, meaning you would have more simplified battles in a Digimon TCG app, PC game, whatever it might be. This feels long overdue, Bandai Namco. It's been years.
Look, if it's a lot of trouble, you could even do like what Yu-Gi-Oh has done to, well, you release a digital fighting card game. Master Duel or whatever it was called.
My fourth to last pick is this Matt and Tai show style favoritism that we see in a lot of Digimon anime, and indeed some Digimon projects outside of anime, that leave main characters in the dust. And this is always going to be a bad decision in my book, because it took years for in-anime megas for everyone except Tai and Matt from the original adventure. We've also never seen in-anime evolutions for Sylphimon and Shakuamon. We've never seen, Valkyriemon and Vikemon show up. No biomerges for half the Tamers cast. No fusion and transcendent spirits in show for anyone but Koji and Takuya. And notably, it's taking until Liberator.
Okay, you're actually right about that. Wow, I never even realized there is a lot of favoritism.
For Espimon, who is Hero, the main character's secondary partner, to get its full evolution line. Digimon Liberator, I think, is actually fixing this somewhat, and I think because it has the room to do so, it being a webcomic, not an anime, and being so focused on the TCG, we're getting to see a ton of people fully evolve their partners, and indeed multiple partners, I guess, because they have different Digimon in their decks. I would love this to carry on, but it doesn't fully make up for the baffling decision to do this for the past 25 years of the franchise. Also, while I'm talking about bad decisions, slight tangent, no new evolutions besides for Ukomon in 02 the beginning. I won't show what the Ukomon evolution is because people might not want to be spoiled, but there is one. Even Try got Merciful Mode. Last Evolution Kizuna got 2 new forms for Agumon and Gabumon, yeah, go figure. When a movie is led by 02 kids, we can't even have like Valkyriemon and Vikemon or /Angemon or whatever show up. We can't have a new form for Imperialdramon. I don't know, maybe it uses the Digi-Egg of Miracles because, Ken and Davis kind of made that Digi-Egg together to get like an Imperialdramon Paladin mode gold or something? Like, surely the best way to market a movie, and this Toei specifically, this is a Toei decision more than a Bandai Namco decision, I guess, is to have a new form to market after the movie initially releases. They do it with basically every Dragon Ball movie. They kind of do it with One Piece movies, I guess. Or at least new characters. I just don't see why we didn't get a new form for the protagonist in that movie. Feels like a huge misstep. Third to last, the shuttering of Digimon Links and Rearise. Now, I understand the reason they shutter mobile games is when they stop making money from the whales, and that's fine. Mobile game ain't making money, cost money to keep the servers up. But we've seen a huge trend recently, especially with Nintendo, but with others too, Mega Man and others. When you have a mobile game, it's kind of a courtesy, especially one with a big narrative, to release an offline mode eventually. Digimon Rearise for a while was saved by a modded APK, I believe, so you could play the stories offline, but apparently that's even not working for everybody now. Closing these games in general felt stupid to me because I don't know what the operating costs really could have been. Like, you could have wrapped up the stories and had generic things going on. Again, I hate to compare to Pokemon all the time, but I play Pokemon Shuffle every day. I don't know when that was actually last maintained by a human. You can make this decision suck less by releasing Digimon Links and Rearise as offline games. Hell, maybe you can use that to bridge the gap between major games like Digimon Story and World. I think it would be great for the Switch and the Switch 2 to have a Digimon Rearise, which looks exactly the same as the mobile game. I'm not looking for a 3D recreation or anything like that, but just with the entire story of Rearise with some battles. It's a no-brainer. Easy money, probably. And call it Digimon Rearise. Yeah, my number 2 pick is the Digimon Vital Bracelet and its mismanagement. This channel kind of made its bread and butter through the Vital Bracelet. While admittedly I have now moved on far away from Vital Bracelet content, it was the thing that I was most excited about when my channel first kind of blew up, and I was doing a lot more top 10 lists and things like that. Kind of funny that I'm still doing a top 10 list now, but you get the point. I think the writing was on the wall for the Vital Bracelet when they made the new app, seemingly so they didn't have to keep paying Chariot to develop the initial official app and the new Vital Bracelet Arena app was just awful. They also diluted the brand of the Vital Bracelet, I think. Obviously, in America and other territories that spoke English, they made the Vital Hero, which was so diluted and separate from Digimon that it didn't even feel like a Digimon product anymore. They barely used the word Digimon in marketing, and indeed had things like a Batman dim card for it, which is cool, but doesn't really sell Digimon, does it? And even in Japan with the Vital Bracelet BE, we had a bunch of really random stuff like Demon Slayer and Tokyo Revengers, but again, from Bandai Namco, we never had a One Piece one or a Dragon Ball one. Do you want to sell units, Bandai? I feel like the shuttering of it this year also was really premature. They really didn't try hard enough with the Vital Bracelet.
Like maybe they could have opened something online asking, and alright folks, we're releasing this. What would you like to see released on it? And then vamoosh, money.
I don't even mind the iterative models where we had the base VB and then the Digivice V and the Jewel V and the BE, etc. I would have really liked them to try one more time and make something more like a Fitbit. They just didn't, and that sucks. I will miss the Vital Bracelet forever, and it's nice that we do have the offline storage for now. They could have done so much more with it, and for me, the thing that concerns me is that if something really cool does come along in the future, something that makes me as excited as the Vital Bracelet did, I'm going to really struggle to want to support it and promote it to you guys. And obviously, they don't pay me to promote it, but naturally, by my enthusiasm, you're going to get on board too. I feel that I did you wrong by being so passionate about the Vital Bracelet and then Bandai Namco killing it. I recommended it to so many people who maybe now lost Digimon forever that they raised. It like sucks and it hurts me because I cared about it. I cared about the Vital Bracelet a lot, and it felt great that so many of you cared about it with me. But then I felt responsible when it closed down. I felt like I'd made you spend money through my enthusiasm, which makes me, the next time a cool project comes up, less enthused. If some crazy successor to the Vital Bracelet or some cool new Digimon card game thing comes out.
Damn it. I was trying to say it would make him be more wary about recommending anything to anyone else in the future.
I'm going to think twice before I get hyped. Fool me once, you know. And finally, a very different type of bad decision, and one that they haven't repeated, thankfully. Yeah, I've danced around this a few times in videos, but in Digimon Card Battle, there's this guy. I'm not going to say what he's referred to, but he has that interesting haircut and that interesting mustache. And he has a camp full of Agumon. Oh my god. This is the worst decision Digimon ever made, because it is used so often as a cheap gotcha by non-Digimon fans to go like, oh, this is your franchise, this is your go. Isn't this silly? Don't forget this variant of Agumon. Did you forget? Honestly, it might have done irreparable damage to Digimon's brand, if only because people are going to use it as an opportunity to mock Digimon fans and kind of make fun of Agumon as a mascot. Terrible. Well, that is it. 10 of, in my opinion, the worst decisions Digimon ever made. Let me know a decision you didn't like in the comments down below. Also, I want to spin this with positivity at the end. Let me know some of the best decisions you think Digimon has ever made, whether it's a card game, Digimon Liberator, a VPET, a video game. Let's put this negativity behind us and work towards a more positive future. Thank you to my sovereign ZD.
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.